guys, Twintuitive 717 here. I'm back with another reading. I'm going to dive right into a collective message around the silence that you're experiencing with your divine masculine. A lot of the times it is silence that's not meant to be interrupted. If they're choosing silence, so some of you might be experiencing the silent treatment where it's like they block you on everything or they just ghost you or whatever the case is. And the best advice that I can really give you, okay, separation, longing, is to let it occur, okay, to allow them that space to just be able to run free. Because the last thing you want is somebody breathing down your neck while you're trying to escape a panicky situation, right? So I feel like if you allow that to be, if you allow the separation to occur, then the longing to reconnect, or I feel bring some kind of closure or healing or give you that explanation or the apology, it's going to end up coming if you remember that true purpose of the journey, okay? So this card is coming in as the North Node purpose, is to remind you of that twin flame connection or the twin flame pull. Oftentimes you'll experience that it really is the divine masculines to go running off in the other direction, and I feel like it's because they're not designed to process the emotions maybe as easily as the divine feminine does, especially when a lot of the spiritual experiences start happening. Your energy can be taken two ways: completely like repulsed by you and they just want to get away, or just completely overwhelmed and euphoric and just dreamy in love over head over heels for you. So it's a really difficult journey from the divine masculine's perspective, okay? So that is just the message that I'm getting to tell many of you who may be sitting in this energy of just feeling like you need closure, like what the heck, like, you know, I pour my heart and soul out to you, or we may disagree on something, there might be conflict, one of you blows up, the other hangs up the phone, like whatever the case is, okay? Many of you may be sitting in this energy of wanting this apology, but I feel like right now the separation is happening for a reason, okay? Let's get some insight on that as well. Okay, what are they meant to learn through this silence? Why are they choosing silence, and what are they meant to learn through this separation? Okay, so I'll take what came face up here, which is karma, balance, and justice. Okay, so you just never know what lies within that separation or whatever kind of balance or karma needs to align itself. I'm hearing anger or temper for some of you. And also abandonment, okay? This could be a divine masculine energy who needs to learn how to maybe even handle the silent treatment from you, or learn to respect your space, or learn to know that they can't be so heavily attached or possessive over you. I feel like that's been the hardest pill to swallow, but this connection has a lot to do with the way that you two may interact in relationships, okay? I'm picking up the energy of a divine masculine that they don't know how to handle themselves around you. Like they get too wrapped up and too wound up and too triggered over you. And I feel like for this divine feminine, it naturally, maybe like it triggers that response in you as well to really prove to them that you are being truthful, you are being genuine. And it creates a vicious cycle of someone who doesn't trust and someone who's like really spending a lot of their time and energy on, this is how you trust me, you can trust me, like, and you keep pouring into this person, and now there is this separation here that is designed to bring about a balancing of the scales, which means each person has to carry their own emotions here. Each person needs to get a grip of their emotions and learn what it's like to be alone and to be comfortable with being alone, okay? That's why you guys are experiencing this stalemate and this natural avoidance of one another is coming through. Okay, it's like, I feel a divine masculine, like, they get attached really easily, and they could also kind of sabotage the connection in a way that ends up, like, causing loneliness. Some of them could be facing loneliness, is another thing I'm getting with the separation card here. But it's something that they may have to go through, because it's not actually loneliness. Like, being alone isn't loneliness, and they need to shift that. Okay, a lot of them are not themselves, is another message I've been getting. Some of them could be avoiding the connection as well because of just letting go of themselves, okay? Becoming too engulfed and focused on you, divine feminine, so much to the point where they start forgetting themselves. So I don't know what kind of I don't know what kind of conflict that occurred between you two before this separation, but it's definitely making you to go through this process, sorry, of releasing, surrendering, and purging something. Purging has a lot to do with this anger, or I'm hearing that somebody just gets way too emotional. Maybe this is your energy as well, Divine Feminine, which is why it is a cycle of like pouring into someone and then they don't meet your expectations and then you freak out and it causes an argument and then you make up, but you're not really making up. You're just brushing your emotions or the high emotions or the high intensity emotions under the rug until next time. Okay, and I feel like for some of you that cycle really needs to come to a stop and come to an end. Like I feel like it really is draining some of you and it's starting to feel less like, this kind of twin flame connection that you started off feeling in the beginning to something that is just emotionally draining. Okay, but it is meant for you and it is coming up for you to be able to do something about it, to heal yourself, create space where necessary, and face the solitude. Okay, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. I feel like this is for some of you who, even though the separation is being orchestrated, like it doesn't mean that you don't care for this person or you don't want to heal this or you don't want to work things out, and that's why you're being called to just stay optimistic. Stay optimistic is like almost like embrace the silence, right? Like if silence or separation is occurring, it's not the time to panic or lose your shit. It really is a time to say, okay, you know what? Obviously some space is needed here, and it's a good thing for me to be able to reflect and for that person to reflect on what's not working, and like maybe I'm not feeling aligned right now, or maybe I need to be healthier. Maybe I am feeling overwhelmed, and those triggers are really hard to work through because some of us in relationships can take another person as needing space as abandonment, and that's where we need to heal. We need to be able to give them that space and say, I understand that you're not abandoning me, and even if you choose to leave, I'm not alone because I have myself. That's why I feel like many twin flames right now, a lot of these divine connections, even with soulmates involved, karmics involved, big lessons around detachment. Okay, what are you learning through detachment when it comes to romantic relationships and love? Okay, so your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together, okay? So definitely realizing that you're willing to shift or change something about yourself because you love someone. And this space is making you call them back in, right? This is the longing that many of you are feeling for them because the separation occurred, right? But let the separation occur and let the cards fall where they need to, because the thing is like you're not wrong in knowing that this is a spiritual bond or it's a special connection. But these connections aren't meant to be perfect or run smoothly. In fact, twin flame connections, a lot of, I feel individuals, really just on that twin flame path, it's hilarious when people want to find their twin flame, because it's like, man, like you really chose a difficult path on ascension, bro. So, I feel like at this time, many of you are learning lessons of just releasing and letting go. And when it's meant to be and it's the right time, you'll attract it back in. Okay, I know for a lot of the divine masculines, they're starting to see that the more they clean up their energy, meaning they just keep healthier habits. And I also see too, like with a lot of the divine masculine collective, they've had to spend time alone and in solitude and like come home to an empty space, and the universe has orchestrated it and designed it that way so that they can actually sit down with their thoughts a little bit. And I feel like magic is happening because many of them are learning a lot through manifestation and being able to call things in or bring things into their energy. I feel like reconnection will happen, or the separation, and for many of you, when it does come to an end, you'll realize that it came to an end because there's something that you've been doing right. There's something that you've been honoring, or there's something that came up in the separation that you're like, I'm going to work on this. And because you chose to work on it, reconnection will happen. Let's see what you guys can look forward to. Okay, so let your friends help you. Okay, so learning to receive, ask for and accept support from others. Many of you may be, learning to reach out for your counterpart and lean on them after the separation occurs. After you guys kind of purge out, again, abandonment wounds, and I'm hearing solitude, like deadly afraid to be on your own. After you overcome that and you just sink into that energy, that's when you might find that reconnection happens in a beautiful way. It's like friends helping each other out in the most beautiful way possible. Okay. And many of you are getting healing family issues, and that's where the abandonment things comes from, is again, somewhere along the lines, you were left alone and it was traumatic and you maybe had to deal with it. And then, maybe forgot about that experience. And now through this whole twin flame encounter, it's bringing back up those experiences again. So I feel like this could have a lot to do with surrender and purge. A lot of this releasing and the forgiveness that wants to come up is the same reasons you guys push each other away. It's patterns that you're really trying to address, and it has nothing to do with one another. That's why you get that longing, because then you realize with whatever conflict and whatever made you guys want to separate or feel that feeling of repulsiveness towards each other in the first place, it's a trigger that neither of you created in one another, but you just happen to bring it up in the worst way possible, right? So hang on, guys, I gotta take this 1 second. So sorry about that, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of move forward away from these triggers, and we'll find out what's coming up for you guys when it comes time to reconnect. Okay, why the space? Detours, divine intervention. Okay, so somebody needs to learn how to I feel deal with their emotions in a healthier way. So for those of you who maybe need that confirmation or that peace of mind, I feel like the separation is a part of divine intervention. Okay, otherwise you guys are going to keep going in this cycle with one another. So see it as the universe really stepping in, and learn to embrace that loneliness, or again the feeling of like space, giving space, surrender, giving that person space. I really am heavily feeling like it's a lot of the divine masculines that are going to be the ones that, are kind of pulling away and need that space. It's going to be up to you to resist trying to help, fill that space. It's like allow the space to open up and allow them to run free. Okay. You as the listener, as the divine feminine, what do you need to do? Okay, so take off the rose-colored glasses, the illusions. Maybe that confusion is ending off because you're allowing it. You're allowing divine timing to occur. Okay, maybe in the past, this is exactly what many of you would be gearing up, getting ready to do, a spy. To watch, maybe reach out, maybe to just kind of intervene on this healing process. Or again, try to fix, but the universe is saying no. Divine intervention, in divine time, the reconnection will happen. And it'll feel like it's coming from a more space that's healed, okay, especially with the healing family issues card, then it is out of the need to just communicate because you are longing or missing one another, okay, because I feel like the space is necessary for those things to come up, and for whoever this masculine is to know that they've got to deal with it on their own. I feel like this is a strong message for you, divine feminine, to refrain from watching or inspecting, or have they learned their lesson? Are they going to grow? It's like a lot of the times that is the control that you need to sometimes release and practice detachment, is realizing that whatever the outcome is, it's not going to make you or break you, right? It's like sometimes we don't know. We can't predict how long someone's healing journey is going to be, but that's where the lessons of detachment comes in, and you just allow it to occur. Okay, that's what divine timing is all about. Okay, so for those of you whose masculines are silent right now, a big message through these cards is that it has a lot to do with so many things aside from, this connection with you. It's so much more about than just you and this romantic connection. It's about some of the wounds or just feelings, emotions that they've held bottled in that you keep triggering or bringing up. And in turn, it's making them turned off and they don't know why. So until they can address it and realize that it's not actually you it's coming from, it's just things out of their past, then they can align with you, okay? But if you kind of keep forcing that realignment because, you miss them, you long for them, you just need to know what's going on, then you'll keep continuing that cycle, okay? So resist the urge to interrupt this healing cycle, okay? Let things come together naturally, and how you'll know is you'll feel it in your heart of hearts. The energy will just naturally feel aligned, whether it's you communicating or them communicating. It's not going to feel forced, or it's not going to feel like, oh, something is not feeling good about this. It's just going to feel really natural and smooth. Okay, guys? So that's what I have for you for this short check-in. I love you guys. Take it easy. And if you need to reach me, check me out on Hipsy, okay? Talk to you guys later. Bye.